Hello and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. Ladies and gentlemen, I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day because here at the Nerdresoft space program, things are going pretty well. We don't currently have any research being done though, so I'd quite like to fix that. And we're going to go straight in for either medbay, interior decor, or percolation. Now, medbay is important because it gets us the mesh tile. It also gets the rejuvenator, and it gets us the apothecary. But the mesh tile is particularly useful because it lets us drain liquids through it, which is good because it means that if someone throws up in a certain area, we can drain the liquid out of there. Percolation is useful because it means we can get the electrolyzer. We can also get the biodistiller, which will convert slime into algae. But the electrolyzer is a way to produce a steady supply of oxygen using piped-in water. And of course, we can also get the water purifier, which will use sand to purify contaminated water, of which there is a lot around us. However, interior decor gives us some sculpting blocks, mess tables, ceiling lamps, and also a blank canvas, which is useful because it means that those are ways to reduce stress. So I think I'm going to go for that because we have two people that are currently quite stressed. Stacy is at 100% stress. Horatio is at 100% stress. So I'd quite like to do something about that. And that's what we're going to do. We're also going to jump in and say that we want to deconstruct these doors around here. We want to cancel the construction of the plants around here. And once that's all done, I want to get some tiles and throw them like this, like this, like this. And I think we'll just put a door in there as well. So that's going to be totally fine. Then we're going to get the manual airlocks and we're going to throw them into those spots there. And what this is going to do is basically stop the flow of the gases and the oxygen that's going around the base. And that's important because it means the flow of gas from this space over here isn't going to get into the bedrooms. And I think that's going to be a very, very good thing. Next, what we'll do is go and tell them to mine out all of that. And I'd like to bring the priority of that up a little bit as well to a nice solid 9. I'd also like the priority of research and power generation to be at 9 as well. So we'll get all that done. I'd also like the priority of the construction to be around 8. So we can get all that done nice and quickly and get the new doors in, get all the tiles in and all that stuff as well. I think that'll be pretty good to do. Now, once all that's done, we're going to need to get them to get more algae because we don't have all that much of it. So what I'll do is give them an order to bring a ladder down through there because we have algae lying around here. We have copper here as well, which I think is going to be super useful. And of course, we have algae all in this space as well, which I absolutely want them to get. There's also obsidian. There's slime in there as well, which we can eventually convert into algae. But for the time being, this will totally do. Now, what I'm going to do with that is give that a priority of 7 so that it gets done after everything else. And there we go. So that'll get done soon enough, hopefully. Although it's probably worth going into jobs and changing some of this up because I know for a fact Horatio isn't good at everything. He's not good at cooking, art, compost. He's not good at research. He's not good at generating power. He's good at harvesting, not good at sweeping. He can do building. We'll let him do that. And he can do digging as well. So that'll be fun. In fact, you know what? Let's have Horatio and Nadia be a team. Because she can't dig. So she can do building. He can do digging. She can do research and she's not bad at it, but we'll take her off that anyway, because I do want to see if I can get someone to research that is phenomenal at it, such as Woodrow. He is actually as good at research as Nadia is, which is slightly annoying. What about this new duplicant? How good are they going to be at research? Let's have ourselves a little look. So you are going to get sick a lot, but you are good at tinkering. You have a small bladder, but you do your best work when you should be sleeping, and you can eat anything without getting sick. You can move quickly underwater, and you can eat anything without getting sick. Sybil, I think we'll get you. You don't really want to do cooking, and you're good at medicine, so we'll get Sybil. We'll go to jobs. And Sybil's not phenomenal at anything, so I think honestly, let's have Sybil. Let's just have those two do their thing. Let's just have that be the setup for the time being. Sybil, you're not going to do... Well, I want you to do combat. You're not going to do anything like that. You're not going to do research. You can generate power, although you might not be amazing at it. You're not going to do harvesting. You can do sweeping. You can do building. You're not going to do delivering. So that should be fine. So hopefully we will see a lot of stuff get done here. We do have a lot of construction to be getting done around here. Then we need to mine all of this out. I think I'd also like to start construction on another floor over here, because I'd like to start moving some things about. I'd like to get some good food production going over here, as well as getting some other things over here as well. I'd also like to start getting some processing space sorted out, because we are going to need some space to process water. We're going to need some space to process oxygen and all that stuff. Speaking of which, we can actually process the contaminated oxygen from areas like this. So we're going to put a couple of these air deodorizers into spaces like that. We'll get one in there. And we could probably get one in here as well. And that should be fine. So we'll get those built eventually, which will be beautiful. Stacy's having a bit of a feast there. We have this done already as well, which is good. I realize cutting off this side of the base means that whilst oxygen can flow up here and around, we are just leaving this side of the base with the one single algae deoxidizer, which is maybe a bit risky, but I think we should be okay. There is also a hatch down here. How exactly do we kill that? That's my question. How do we kill a hatch? How do we do combat? Is it harvest? I doubt it's harvest, to be honest. I really do doubt that it's going to be harvest. Not prioritize, not deconstruct, not dig. It's a little bit concerning that I can't figure out how to do combat. But I mean, if somebody dies, then somebody dies. These things happen. Yeah, I don't really know. Duplicants will enter a state of emergency and ignore basic needs to work. Yeah, that's fair. We don't really want them to do that. Who's idle? Horatio's idle. I guess that's because he can... Oh, you know what, Horatio? You should probably build as well. Horatio, you can build and you can dig. We'll get those two working on stuff together, because I think that's going to be for the best. So he's going to go get some sandstone. Someone's just been violently sick. That's good. Congratulations on your vomit. Really well done there. Yeah, I actually don't know how to get people to fight. I legit have no idea how to get them to fight. I've only ever seen them do it once, and I have completely forgotten how to do it. Why is there a... No, there we go. The close tooltip stays up there for some reason. That's very, very strange. Birdie, for example. Can I get you to, like, go and kill the hatch? Is that a thing I can, like, right-click on and say, go kill it? No. I guess you can't get through there, so that might be the reason. Is it on screen and I'm just not seeing it? Because I know that in controls, if I go to controls, attack is T. Which is fair, but T is also harvest. If I'm not mistaken. Harvest, the shortcut for harvest is T. So, yeah, that seems weird that that's the way that works. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Where's everybody at the moment? We want to cancel that. So they are slowly getting through there, which is nice. Horatio's coming down to deliver some stuff and vomit, which is great. Congratulations on your vomit there, Horatio. That was really well done of you, buddy. You know, we should probably get some doors in here as well. Oh, we just got decor, which is beautiful news. I want to get a light up there, because I think that's going to be important. I want to get a light up there, because people spend a lot of time at the research things. I want to get a light up there, because people spend a lot of time there. I'm not going to put lights in with the sleeping quarters, because I don't think that's going to be necessary. A couple of lights in there is probably a good idea, because people will be in there a lot. And that should be fine. Now, those are going to need to get some power. So we'll run some electrical wire into the lights like that. We're going to need to run some cable up to here. And into there, and into there. We're going to need to run some cable into these as well. So that cable can come over like this and just connect down like that. and that should be fine. We'll actually make like a little loop like that. So that'll be totally okay. In fact, we'll bring this over as well. A little bit unnecessary, but we'll bring it around just so we can get some lights up there if we want to. And I think, honestly, I'm going to do the same over here as well. And just bring some lights through every bit of floor and ceiling that we have. Because that way, we aren't going to have to worry too much about running cables in the future. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's an awful lot of work to be doing. But we'll get it done and everything should be good. So there we go. That's gonna keep everybody busy for a good long time. Obviously, they're not going to do it immediately because the priority is currently on mining all of this side, but hopefully they'll do it eventually. We do also have some options for decor. We have the blank canvas, which can go pretty much anywhere. So let me maybe throw like a blank canvas. We kind of need one in there. What about a sculpting block? What if we got like a statue in there? That could be kind of interesting. Maybe. I guess we'll see. People are going down to get some algae, though, which is beautiful news. That means that oxygen production shouldn't be too tricky. We do need to get another research task, though, so I think I want to go immediately for percolation. Because we need to start moving water. We need to start producing oxygen through other means. We are not going to have enough algae to last us forever. Obviously, we could build over this way and get the algae here, but yeah, we're not going to have algae forever, and we need to make sure that we have plans. We have systems in place to make sure that we can survive when you know, the algae's up. We're not going to have it forever, like I said. We should also look into oxygen generation for areas down here. Although we're not really going to be down here much, are we? We're coming down here for the algae and not really much else. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's go to base. Let's go to tile. Let's get these, let's get this floor in here. And let's start turning that into a space, because I think that'll be useful. We can delete those bits. We can go ahead and get a... We could put some doors on there. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I said, a lot of work to be done. Awful lot of work to be done. I don't think there's any sense in rushing it. Now, hold on a second. If I say T and hit U. Aha! So that is combat. Right. Very interesting. So they're all heading out to kill... No, it's gone back that way. So if it gets to here, they'll go fight it, but when it walks back, they don't. Interesting. And then when it gets to daytime, they stay... It stays underground. Very interesting. Can I change the time that they go to sleep? Is that a thing I can do? Because, right, their stress is here, their fullness is there, their calories are that. So, fair enough. Reports, research, vitals. Yeah, I can't really seem to change when they sleep. At least I don't think I can. So, I don't know. I don't know what way that works. I wonder if that's something I can like click on cycle? No? I don't know. I really don't know how that works. I'm not going to worry about it too much either, because I don't think it's that important. Although I would really like to maybe go to dig and say that we want to clear all this out. Because that does need to be done. We have insufficient oxygen generation, which is a little bit concerning. It was up there for a second. So that's something to certainly keep in mind. The whole oxygen issue. It would also be nice if this little beastie was to pop up again. Because we could send everybody to try and kill it. Which I would quite like people to try and do. Alright, hold up. It's going to pop out. There it is. Kill it. Is it dead? It is dying. It's dead. We killed it. And we got some meat. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. Do we have a refrigerator currently? No. We would get that from fine dining, which we don't currently have either, so that's fine. At least it's dead. We've got that going for us. That's all I really wanted to do as well, so I'll take it. I'll certainly take it. Can I go ahead then and say that I want to, first off, mop up the base, because it's currently kind of filthy in there. So let's get some mopping done. Let me also bring up the priority of... Oh, wow, that's a lot of work to be done. Let me bring up the priority of a lot of things. I think the priority of this space here should be pretty high. I think that's something we want to get done. I want to bring that down to 8, though. And someone's suffocating currently, which is actually a major concern. Who is suffocating? You are suffocating. Are you stuck? I think he might be stuck. There we go. So he's fallen. He's all right now. As long as he gets back to somewhere where he can breathe. Come on, Horatio. You're all right, buddy. There you go. That was a little bit too close for comfort. That was well and truly a little bit too close for comfort. I did not realize he got himself stuck there. That was, yeah, that was potentially a disaster. That was absolutely a potential disaster. Hopefully we don't see anything like that happen again. I don't think we have too much reason to go back down into that space anyway, so we should be okay. But I'm still not entirely okay with it. Who's stress vomited? Stacy, you better be. I think you were on the ladder when you did it, right? If you were on the ladder when you stress vomited, then it just went straight down into the pit. If you weren't on the ladder when you stress vomited, then that's a completely different story. But we'll not worry too much about that one. Actually, Stacy, I think you were there, weren't you? Oh, someone else is stress vomiting. I think that was actually Horatio down here. So he's got the right idea. Fair play to Horatio. Like, he went down into the pit and was like, "Oh, I need to vomit. Let's go down into the pit. Let's vomit down there, away from everything." I'll tell you what, this place is filthy at the moment. Like, legitimately just disgustingly filthy. And I kind of feel like something needs to be done about it. Can I bring the priority of the lights up a little bit? Like, if I just go 9 on that and say 9 on that and all of that, that should connect up, right? There's power there. Yeah, so that'll connect those up and put some lighting into that space. Then I want to go and say prioritize that light. Although, does that light have a power connection? It does. So that's been done. Prioritize that power connection to a 9 as well, or that light to a 9. And let's just get those done. Let's just get those lights in there. Because I'd really like to see some light into this space. I'd also really like to see all of the mopping get done. But that's not being done at the moment, unless there's a way I can tell them to do it, but I don't think there is. There is obviously combat. There's cooking, art, compost, research, harvest, sweep. There's no clean, though. Which is a bit of a pain, really. Because I'd like them to be able to clean. Oh, there's a light going in. Beautiful. So that does need power, which it'll get eventually. The cables are slowly being put together there. There's some research being done. We are close to getting percolation, which is beautiful news. Oh, they really are taking their time. Horatio, you're going to the bathroom. That's fine. We have a skill increase for Sybil. Athletics is now at 3. And I think someone just wet themselves down in... Was that into the pit? I don't know if it was. I hope that was. I really, really hope that was someone wetting themselves into the pit. Oh, there's a light! Look at that! Oh, that's maybe gonna be... That might keep people happy. Let's see. So Stacy and Horatio are back up to 100%. That's not good. That's really not... That's not the kind of stress levels I want to see. I would really like that to be fixed. Also, yeah, there is a wire going in there. We just got to get these bits around here done. And then we're sorted. So we're very close to having some lights in here. Which is beautiful. Horatio there doing the last bits. And there we go. We have some lights. Let there be lights. Someone else just threw up everywhere. We really need to lower stress. We really, really do. Maybe some lights in this space would be good as well. Maybe some lights everywhere would be good. It's definitely a possibility. New duplicants are available. We have 2 beds left. Let's get another one, see what happens. We'll get up to 10 duplicants and leave it at that for a while. We have mozzarella. I'm so tempted But he is a mouth breather. Oh dear. We have Nails, the night owl. Slow learner, that's a problem. We have an irritable bowel, but you are light as a feather on your feet. You're also creative. You're good at construction, though. Like, you're really good at construction, Nails. You're good at digging and we're getting mozzarella. He's a mouth breather. Oh, he does take 100 more. Oh, we need to get mozzarella. We need to get mozzarella. That's a name I can't pass up. Mozzarella, you are going to be building and digging. You're not going to be delivering. You're not going to be sweeping. You're not going to be harvesting. You're just going to build and you're just going to dig. And that's fine. So there you go. Welcome, mozzarella. Literally my favorite. Like one of my favorite cheeses right there. Right next to Red Leicester and cheddar. I realize Red Leicester, I talk about Red Leicester cheese a lot. This is not the first video I've talked about Red Leicester cheese in. Let that be known. That's an interesting fact about me. That's, well, interesting might not be the word. Interesting is probably not the word. But that is a fact about me. I quite enjoy cheese. Let me also go and open that door permanently. Because I think that's going to be important to let oxygen flow through into here. We're probably also going to want to replace that tile up there with a gas permeable tile. I think that'll be a pretty good idea. I think we could also look into getting, you know what? I might start building giant tanks. Because that is something I want to do. Because when we get percolation, we're going to get ourselves the option to filter water. So if we were to build like a giant tank over here, we could put a whole bunch of contaminated water in just one giant tank and go to town. And that doesn't seem like a bad idea to me, if I'm honest. So I think we're going to build a giant tank. So let me go to base. Let me go to ladder. And let me just build a giant tank, a giant ladder there. And then let me go to dig. And say we want to dig all of that. And then let me build a ladder. Like this. And say we want to dig all of that. Now we're going to need to dig, not all of that, but we're going to need to dig all of this. And that as well. And then that should let us go ahead and just outline that as one giant tank. We'll cancel those bits. And we'll say we want that to be tiled. So that's going to be a bunch of tiling right there. And that should be okay. And yeah, this should be interesting. We're going to want some floors across there. And we're going to want to, well, actually, I'm going to let them do the work they're currently doing. Rather than getting them onto another high priority task. Because I want to get the lighting in here. Because it's not all in yet. I also think I will go ahead and put some lighting into the bedrooms. The problem is the lighting in the bedrooms is not going to be very efficient. It needs to be spaced 2 apart. Otherwise, it's not going to be lighting everything properly. So we're going to put a lot of lighting in the bedrooms here. Or in the bedroom, rather. Not the bedrooms, but the singular bedrooms. Bedroom. I'm really good at speaking, guys. I'm really good. Just the best at speaking is what I am. There we go. So we'll get all that done. It's gonna be beautiful. Oh, that's done. Oh, look at that. I mean, no one's doing anything with it. But that's fine. Can we bring the priority on that up to like 9? Who's the best at art? Because I only want one artist. No one do art until Jasper, you're 5 with art. Okay, Jasper, you're the artist. So Jasper, you're going to be doing art. And it better be amazing. Because if it isn't, I'm going to be disappointed. Now there we go. We got some lights going into the bedrooms there. Jasper is working on art. Beautiful. I think Stacy just threw up looking at it, but I mean, that'll happen. That happens to all the best artists. People look at their stuff and can't comprehend it. Their brain's like, I don't understand this art. I can't interpretate it. That's what happens. Oh my god. That's beautiful. It's mediocre, actually. But it's beautiful. I don't like that I can't move it, though. Where else can I put a sculpture? I guess I could put one down here. Like, we can... Nah, you know what? We're not gonna do anything with it. It's done. It's beautiful. Well done, Jasper. You did some good work. Can I get everybody to just, like, mop up the base, though? Because it's filthy again. Can we stop vomiting everywhere, guys? It'd be really appreciated. I think we did just get percolation, though, which is beautiful. We could look into advanced filtration for the air scrubber, but I think I want fine dining because I want a refrigerator. I also want cooking station. So let's go straight for fine dining. These guys are all still working on a variety of things. But I imagine having Stacy, for example, you know, underneath a light is going to help with the stress. Interrupted sleep, stepped in contaminated water, grimy, dirty hands. No, Stacy's still up there at 100%. That's not great. We can fix a lot of those things. Like grimy and dirty hands can be fixed eventually. Now we do have the water purifier, so I should probably explain this thing, right? So the reason I want the tank over on this side, I'm going to put another one hopefully on this side. But the reason there's a tank over here is because this is going to be the tank that has the dirty water in it, which is a bit silly because there's clean water up there and dirty water over here. But the reason is that the water purifier has its intake on the left side. So rather than trying to get it all to loop over each other, which you can do, but rather than trying to do that, I'm just going to have an intake for water right at the bottom of this tank, which is going to come up the side of it, across under here and straight into the purifier. Then it's going to come out, there's going to be an intake, an output at the top that falls into this tank, and that's going to output into this tank over here. That's basically the simplest way to do it. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, the biodistiller will convert slime into algae, which is actually kind of interesting because there is slime over here that we could go for. So we might do that. The biodistiller apparently... Wait, what? Converts slime into algae. Why do we need an output on this? What exactly does that produce? I assume contaminated water? I don't really know. It produces something though. Compost will break contaminated dirt done into fertilizer. Fair enough. Then we have oxygen. We have the electrolyzer, which uses water to make oxygen, but it needs to be piped in, so we can't do that just yet. We'll not worry too much about that. So the construction's still going ahead, which is fine by me. Everybody is helping clean as well. Oxygen generation is not quite where it should be, which is slightly concerning, but we'll not worry too much about that. Let's go to manual airlock there. No one started working on this yet, which is totally fine. We're getting there, though. We're slowly getting all the lights in. I'm excited to see all the lights get put in here as well. I think we'll go ahead and actually get more of them just to try and improve things. Now, a massage table could be useful. Also, mess tables would be useful. I want to put food production in here. So I want to get the mess tables just like this. Now, we are going to have up to 10 duplicants. So that's 7, that's 9, and that's 10. So that's going to be fine. We're going to want to get some lights in here. So there and there. And they're going to be 4 apart. So like that. And that's totally fine. So that's going to be some good light for that space. We're going to need to get some power through to those lights. Just like that. And that'll be okay. If we go back to food, we can put the microbe mulcher thing in here. Because I do want to slowly clear this room out anyway. I am going to want oxygen production in this room as well. So we could get an algae terrarium. Which is tempting. We could put one there. Because that would give it a small boost because it's in direct light. We could do that, or we could just go with a deoxidizer. Like, what does this thing produce? It gives 40... that gives 600 gallons. Is that gallons? G per S. What is it? Gallons per second? I thought it's grams. I really don't know. I think we'll just go for the deoxidizer. That's probably for the best. So we'll get that in there. We are going to need to bring power into this space as well. So let's get some electrical wire. We'll bring it down here. We'll bring it across and connect it up. And and connect up you, and connect up you. And that's going to be the new food production room. Now, I do want to get I still want to get the refrigerator, which we're currently working on. A planter box would be nice as well. We do have a couple of those, right? We have the planter box here. But it's in a space that's pretty much unbreathable. So that's good. That's what you want for your planter box. You want it to be in a space that's completely unbreathable for the plant. That's just beautiful. That's exactly what I want to hear. Hopefully we can do something about that. It does look like oxygen is flowing down that way a little bit. But I'm noticing there's not enough resources for the oxygen generation thing there to work. So we are going to need to start getting some algae from over here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to change up the way we're going to do these tanks. These tanks are actually going to be bigger than they currently are. They're going to be going down like that, because I think that's going to be a good idea. Now, I'd like to cancel that construction. I'd like to go to ladder. I'd like to bring... I want to cancel that as well. I want to bring a ladder down this way, and a ladder down this way. I want to go to mining, and I want to mine all of that, and all of that. So that should be fine. We'll get all that mined out as soon as we can. And that's going to be pretty significant. That's a pretty big job right there. But I think it'll be alright. I do absolutely think it'll be alright. Dining tables are going in. Maybe we should bring the priority of this up a little bit. Because we need the algae from down there, so I think having high priority stuff is going to be a good idea. Let me go to 8 as the priority, because priority 9 is going to be food production and all that stuff. So we want to mine all of this out and do that. And then we want to bring the ladders right down like this. And right down like this. And that'll be good. Then what we'll do is say priority 7 is going to be everything else. So there's every little bit around there is priority 7, and all of this mining in here is also priority 7. So there we go. So a lot of people should start heading off that way to start doing the mining, which is good. That's what we want to see. And we will eventually get down to the algae. It is going to take a while, but eventually we will get down there. We will be able to get more resources for oxygen production, because I don't think we're actually not producing oxygen at all anymore. So we definitely need to do something about that. We're probably gonna need to get some slime as well. Like, we are probably gonna have to mine our way down and get some slime from down here. There's algae down there as well. There's a lot of slime over here. There's also that abyssalite, which is a good name because it sort of looks like you're looking into the abyss. But we're definitely gonna need to do some good stuff over here. Everybody's going for a sleep. That's a little bit worrying, to be honest, because we do have insufficient algae. It also looks like this is done, which is interesting. 3 harvests remaining, and it's dead. Oh, there's meal. Oh, actually, we did get meal lice from that. Unrefrigerated meal lice, admittedly, but meal lice, nonetheless. So everybody's woken up. Quite a few of you heading over that way, which is good. It'll be good if you keep building down. Mozzarella there doing what he can. Or she. He or she. Right. What, you're male, right? No idea. Does it tell me? It doesn't. I don't know. It's mozzarella. It's difficult to tell if that's like, I don't know. It doesn't really matter anyway. Just curious. Just very, very curious. Oh, God. Horatio, come on, man. That's not cool. Just vomiting and then I swear to God, Horatio, like, marks his territory by vomiting. I feel like that's what he's doing. Because every time I get him on a digging project, he ends up throwing up in it. Every single time. It's ridiculous. Now, you guys are getting close to the algae. Oh, come on. Yeah, oxygen's going to be rough down there. Oxygen is going to be real rough down there. Can I lower the priority of this? Because this doesn't actually need done yet. And then maybe up the priority of these lower bits. Up the priority of all of that. So you guys need to get down there to get to the algae. And then you'll be fine. That's basically the way this is going to work. You need to get down to the algae, and then we can start producing oxygen, and then everybody can stop, like, almost dying. Because that's what's going on. We're going to see some people suffocating if we're not quick here. But I think I can manage this. I do think we'll be okay. There is oxygen down in that hole as well, so we should be able to do this. We're about to hit the algae, which is just excellent news. There we go. So there they go. They can start breathing the oxygen as it escapes up into the tunnel. They're going to mine everything out around them. And we should be able to start producing oxygen again, which is it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. New duplicates are available. We have one bed left, so we might as well. Who are we going to get? We have Bert, we have Nails, and we have Longway. Bert is pretty good at everything but a mouth breather. You're a yokel, which means you can't do research, but that's not too bad. We might go with Nails. Nails is good at tinkering. Good strength, good medicine, good learning. You're naturally robust over there, Bert. But I think I'm gonna go with Nails, because we can't really... Yeah, you're a vomiter when you get stressed. I'd rather not have someone that, you know, is gonna destroy stuff. So we'll go with Nails. And that's gonna be the last duplicate we get for a while. And that's totally fine by me. So we're producing oxygen. This tank really needs to be dug out. We should probably start working on the other one as well, but there is a lot of contaminated water in there, which is a bit concerning. I guess we'll see what we can do about that. A lot of stuff being picked up over there. A lot of oxygen just in that tank at the moment, which I'm very much okay with. Now let's see. Where else can we get ourselves some algae? Now there is algae over there. There's algae there as well. There's water up there. Which I'm very tempted to flood this tank with. Once we get these lower bits done, I think I'll flood this tank with water. Because I think that's going to be a good idea. Let me also get that all mined out. There's a lot of sand in there, which is going to flood this tank, so... No, not flood the tank, but it's going to fall into the tank, so I don't think I want to flood it yet. Until it's completely done. So let's set that as a priority 8. Let's just set the mining as a general high priority thing. And we can hope for the best. Can I turn this thing off? No. Fair enough. So I can't turn it off, so we're always going to be getting new duplicates. That's fair enough, I suppose. And these guys are doing some pretty good mining there. Which is good. It looks like they can mine a reasonable distance from the ladder. It looks like it is about 2, so I placed the ladders in the right spots, which is beautiful news. They're going to go down, I assume, and clear out that lower bit. Then get onto the other ladder and clear out the other side. So there we go. That's absolutely perfect. That tank is almost empty. Then they'll get onto the side bits, and that'll be it, done. And then I think I will flood it with water, which will eventually be contaminated, but I'll flood it anyway. So let me go ahead and mark those bits as needed for mining. We can maybe do the same here, but we'll not take... Actually, you know what? Cancel that for a second. Because I want to go to base, and I want to say put me a tile there. And get me a manual airlock there. Then bring the priority of that up to 8. Because I want that to be built first before they start doing the walls of the thing. Because this way, if it floods elsewhere, like if it all doesn't go down into this thing immediately, we're not gonna have it flood the base. And I think that's gonna be a really good thing. So let's say that we now want them to mine that out. And that needs to be quite high priority. That's gonna be a 9 right there. So mine those bits out if you don't mind. Otto, you gonna do it? Nope. Mozzarella, you're gonna do it. That's fine. Mine that bit. Mine that bit. And it is actually flooding perfectly. Good. That's what I want to see. That is exactly what I want to see. So that's flooding the tank quite nicely. And that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. So what we'll have is an intake down here. If we go to plumbing, we can actually get the... It's not plumbing, is it? It's refinement. We can get the water purifier, and we want to throw it up there, basically. I think, honestly, I'm just going to throw it, like, there? Or possibly over here. Maybe we make the purification process something that happens like... let's throw it there. Let's just get the purifier there. And then the way we're going to do this is we are going to need it to go to another tank. Which is fine. Lot of contaminated water there, though. Maybe we try and do it the other way. Maybe we do... I think it is going to make sense to just have the contaminated water exist over here. Now, this goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... And 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is 8, right? Yeah, that's 8. So, oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ah. Yeah, that's going to be tricky. Somehow we need to make this work, though. Somehow we need to make this work. Let's say that we mine all of this out. Just like so. We're going to need ladders. Much in the same way that we had before. So the ladders here are going to be like that. And also like that. Now they're not going to like being in this contaminated water. Which is a problem. But what's more is we can't mine this in the traditional way. So what we're going to need to do is get ourselves an opening there. Because if we break this so we can get in there, we're going to have all this drained. So we need to mine it from down here first. So we need to go to priorities. And we need to say that the ladder has priority 9. That ladder needs done first. Then what we're going to do is say this lower area is also going to have priority 9. So up to about there is going to have priority 9. And then when that's all done, this bit has priority... No. This all needs priority 9. Like that. And that'll be fine. That bit needs priority 8. Then these bits maybe priority 7. Just to make sure that we can contain all this. And that should be fine. Then the rest of it is... Basically the rest of it is priority 7 as well. So just everything there is priority 7. And that should work. That should be okay. So if we get all that done the way we need it to be done. That bit of ladder there probably needs to be priority 8 as well. Right. We'll see what happens with this. That wall's going to be deconstructed. They're going to go through. And they're going to start working on it. And I hope it works. I want to try and minimize the amount of time that they spend in contaminated water. And I think this might be the way to do it. Now, obviously, we are going to have some issues with oxygen getting in there because the oxygen is going to naturally want to rise up. And in this case, it's not really going to have the opportunity to do that. We should probably get to finishing all of this as well. I realize we can go ahead and deconstruct that entire section of the ladder. Which is probably worth doing. Not really sure how we're going to manage to do that reasonably, but we'll see. Oh, it's being deconstructed sort of from the top down. Yeah, Nails is sort of stuck on the ladder now until he deconstructs the whole thing. So nicely done there, Nails. Enjoy your time in the water at the bottom. Hopefully you have a great time. Please don't break the bit you're standing on because that's going to leave a bit... Yeah, there you go. And break the last bit, Nails. Then into the water. And out you go. Okay, fair enough. So that worked. Over here is slowly getting done. And everybody's asleep. Okay, well, ladies and gents, I think I'm actually going to leave it there for today. A lot of people stressed, but it shouldn't be too long until we can get some purified water. I think what I would maybe like to do is possibly look into... I mean, number one, I could extend this tank over to here if I wanted to. I could sort of have it go around the whole base. Like, it sort of fills up from here and fills up this space down here, and we'll see what happens with that. But I think what we're going to need to do is get ourselves a liquid pump. Because we need to start pumping some good water into something like an electrolyzer. Because we need some good oxygen production. So I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to throw an electrolyzer into that spot. And I'd like to get one in that spot. I'd like to bring some liquid pipes, because those are intakes right there. I'd like to bring some liquid pipes over like this. And I'd like to bring that over to here. Down like this. And I'd like to get a liquid pump and throw it there, which has its output there. So the output's like that. And there we go. So that is hopefully going to work. Now, electrolyzers, I do believe, also need power. Yes, they do. So that's going to connect up to our grid, and that's going to connect up to our grid. And hopefully that'll do some good stuff. That'll give us some oxygen production from water, which we do have. Hopefully it's not going to be contaminated oxygen, because some of that water is contaminated, but we'll see what happens. Either way, ladies and gents, I'm going to leave it there for today. Thank you kind of for watching. This has been Oxygen Not Included, part the 3rd. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!